In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on November 12, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Central Michigan Chippewas versus Toledo Rockets. The Central Michigan Chippewas, currently 3-6 and ranked 10th in the Mid-American Conference, will travel to Toledo, Ohio for a Tuesday evening showdown against the Toledo Rockets, who hold a 6-3 record and sit at 5th in the Mid-American Conference standings. This conference clash will take place at Glass Bowl Stadium, and it's an opportunity for the Chippewas to end their recent slump, as they are on a 4-game losing streak. In contrast, the Rockets are aiming to build on their momentum following a narrow 29-28 victory on the road against the Eastern Michigan Eagles at the start of November. Toledo also has history on its side, having defeated Central Michigan 32-17 in their previous matchup, which was held in Central Michigan last season. In recent matchups, the Chippewas have struggled both straight up and against the spread when facing the Rockets. Their 32-17 loss to Toledo in their final game of 2023 marked the second consecutive defeat in this matchup, both straight up and against the spread. Central Michigan's against the spread performance in 2024 has been dismal overall, with just 3 wins out of 9 attempts. They've also lost 2 of their last 3 games against the spread and have failed to cover the spread in any road game this season. Toledo, on the other hand, holds a marked offensive edge in this game, with several of their stats ranking among the top half in the Mid-American Conference, while Central Michigan sits near the bottom in comparable categories. The Rockets secured bowl eligibility last week, whereas the Chippewas appear to be playing solely to gain experience and build toward the future. Toledo has had ample time to prepare for this matchup and has consistently outperformed Central Michigan this season. A major highlight of Toledo's season was their road victory over Southeastern Conference opponent Mississippi State, where they didn't just eke out a win, they dominated with a final score of 41-17. The Rockets boast a potent offense, led by a robust passing game that features quarterback Dequan Finn, who has demonstrated solid performance with multiple games exceeding 280 passing yards. Toledo's offensive power extends to its receiving core, where standout wide receiver Jerwan Newton has tallied an impressive 10 touchdowns, ranking him second in the nation. This strong passing attack gives Toledo the capability to pile on points, which is particularly advantageous in the Mid-American Conference, where games can remain competitive until the final minutes. Although Toledo needed a comeback in their previous game, that situation may not repeat here, as Central Michigan's passing offense has been notably weak, managing only 63 yards through the air last week and facing difficulties replacing quarterback Joe Labas. With Tyler Jefferson starting at quarterback and completing under 50% of his passes, the Toledo Rockets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Central Michigan's offense has visibly faltered since the loss of quarterback Joe Labas, which has contributed to their current 4-game losing streak. Over this stretch, they managed to put up just 13 points against Bowling Green and a mere 7 against Miami, Ohio in the past 2 weeks. Against Bowling Green, they posted only 63 passing yards, and the previous week against Miami, they finished with just 62 yards in the air. This lack of offensive production has rendered the team one-dimensional, and Toledo, aware of this from film review, is likely to focus on stopping the run, potentially shutting down Central Michigan's offensive efforts altogether. While Toledo's offense has been solid, it hasn't been producing explosive numbers lately, failing to score over 30 points since their non-conference game against Mississippi State and putting up only 13 points in a gritty, low-scoring win over Northern Illinois. The recent history between these teams suggests a low-scoring trend, as the last 5 matchups have gone under the projected point total. Toledo's defense has managed to hold Central Michigan to just 17 points across their previous 2 meetings. Furthermore, Central Michigan has struggled to generate points, having scored fewer than 13 points in each of their last 2 games and in 2 of their last 3 road games. Offensively, the Chippewas rank in the lower half nationally in several categories, including points per game, making it unlikely they'll mount a high-scoring effort. Similarly, the Rockets have scored 15 points or fewer in 2 of their last 4 games. Central Michigan's most recent game against Bowling Green stayed under the total, as both teams combined for just 36 points. With both teams missing key players due to injuries, offensive production is expected to be low. Given these factors, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Western Michigan versus Bowling Green. As we reach the middle of November, football fans know it's the time of year when midweek MCAA, Mid-American Conference games, lights up our television screens. This Tuesday night brings a high-stakes matchup as the Western Michigan Broncos hit the road to face off against the Bowling Green Falcons. Both teams are fiercely competing for a top spot in the conference standings, making this an important game for their postseason hopes. Western Michigan heads into the game following a disappointing 42-28 home loss to Northern Illinois last Wednesday, where they failed to cover as 2-point favorites. Meanwhile, Bowling Green enters fresh off a 23-13 road victory over Central Michigan last Tuesday, although they too struggled to meet expectations, missing the cover as 16-point favorites. Historically, Bowling Green has had the upper hand in this matchup, leading the all-time series with a 34-20-3 record, and they've also claimed the last 2 meetings, including a 34-10 road win on November 21, 2023. Western Michigan's offense faced a challenging outing against Northern Illinois, despite racking up an impressive 211 rushing yards. Their struggles were apparent, as they converted only 2 out of 10 third-down attempts and threw 3 costly interceptions. On the defensive side, they allowed 255 rushing yards, which contributed heavily to their inability to stay competitive in the game. Bowling Green, on the other hand, also had a tough day offensively in their last outing, managing to convert only 4 of 15 third downs and committing a whopping 12 penalties in what turned out to be a messy win over Central Michigan. However, their defense stood strong, surrendering just 250 total yards, including only 63 passing yards, and limiting their opponent to 13 first downs. For Western Michigan to have a chance in this game, they will need to focus on reducing mistakes and consistently converting on third downs. While backing Bowling Green as the home team is tempting, Western Michigan has plenty of motivation to avoid consecutive losses, especially given the tight race for the top 2 spots in the Mid-American Conference standings and a chance to reach the conference title game. Both teams currently hold identical records, but up until now, Western Michigan's offense has been more productive during conference play. Given these factors, the Western Michigan Broncos to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Recent performances from both teams suggest this game could be a high-scoring affair. Western Michigan's offense has been on fire, averaging 41 points per game over their last 5 contests, while Bowling Green has been strong as well, scoring an average of 30 points in their past 3 games. Quarterbacks Hayden Wolf and Connor Bazelak have been outstanding, both demonstrating solid control under center and minimizing turnovers. With both offenses in rhythm and effectively moving the football, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Ball State versus Buffalo. The Ball State Cardinals are set to face the Buffalo Bulls in a Week 12 showdown of the 2024 college football season, taking place on Tuesday evening at UB Stadium. This matchup is part of the Mid-American Conference action, and both teams are gearing up for a high-stakes game. The Cardinals are looking to bounce back after a close 27-21 loss at home to the Miami, Ohio Redhawks last Tuesday. Meanwhile, the Bulls enter this game with some momentum after securing a 41-30 victory on the road against the Akron Zips on November 2nd. This upcoming contest marks the 14th all-time meeting between these teams, with Ball State leading the series 11-2. In terms of overall performance, the Buffalo Bulls seem to have the edge in this matchup. Ball State's quarterback, Caden Semonza, has struggled with turnovers, averaging an interception per game, which has hampered his team's offensive consistency. In contrast, Buffalo's CJ Ogbonna has shown better ball security, throwing just 2 interceptions all season. Buffalo also holds an advantage in the ground game, averaging 4 yards per carry compared to Ball State's 3.4 yards per attempt. Defensively, the Cardinals have been vulnerable against the run, allowing 169.4 rushing yards per game and ranking 103rd nationally in this category. The Bulls' run defense has been stronger, giving up an average of 153.2 rushing yards per game, placing them at 75th in the nation. The Bulls have also shown resilience in November, a month that's historically challenging for them, having lost their last 9 games in November before the season. They broke that streak with a decisive win over Akron on November 2nd, and with nearly 10 days of rest, they are in an advantageous position for this matchup. A victory here would secure bowl eligibility for Buffalo, adding extra motivation. Although both teams have been inconsistent on offense and evenly matched on defense, Buffalo's discipline in critical areas should prove decisive. The Bulls are disciplined with penalties, ranking 13th nationally, and they excel in turnover margin, ranking 28th. While Ball State performs well in limiting penalties, their lack of efficiency in the turnover battle could make the difference. Given these factors, the Buffalo Bulls to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Recent defensive performances suggest that both teams are struggling to contain opposing offenses. Over their last 5 games, Ball State has allowed an average of 31 points per game, while Buffalo has given up a substantial 42 points per game in their last 3 contests. The Cardinals have consistently hit the over this season, with a 7-1-1 record in games going over the projected total, and the Bulls have also leaned towards the over with a 5-3-1 record. Considering both teams' recent defensive issues, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.